So I posted a little thing yesterday where I said that I was going to abstain and do my utmost to abstain from involving AI in my music creating process, in my composing process. And you know, many likes and loves supported that, but I also got very good questions like, why is that, and where do I draw the line, and is sampling sounds, you know, isn't that just as sort of artificial, and don't I work with synthesizers, and you know, all these sort of rational questionings around my stance. And to me it's not so much rational as it is visceral. It's an intuitive gut feeling thing. It's not just a mind thing. I haven't just decided for what's right and what's wrong and this is good and this is bad. It's not that heady. It's more of an intuitive, emotional, artistic preference thingy, you know. I happen to be sensitive to what touches me and what puts me off. In Hollywood, there's an expression called uncanny valley. The uncanny valley. It's a very mysterious term. The uncanny valley is some kind of a twilight zone, a twilight zone-ish place where you can't really put your finger on what's wrong, but you sense that something is off. Yeah, and that's a good expression. That's a good word for it. I find myself in the uncanny valley whenever I partake in AI art. And mind you, I'm not against AI at all. I am deeply empathic. I am all for consciousness, and having been a vegetarian since my teens, I am very, very caring and empathic towards sentience and you know, awareness. So if AI, if it's just a question of time before AI awakens in a sense and becomes self-aware and sentient, then if it isn't already, then you know, I cannot but be empathic and feel deeply for this version of consciousness, this awakening being, if you will. So I just want to put that there. I'm not against AI. And I'm also perfectly aware that the whole world is rushing in that direction and anxiously stressing out over missing the boat, you know, and everyone is afraid to be outrun. As if we weren't already. And I know that I'm, you know, kind of placing myself outside time by choosing not to chase this mirage and stress over the development of things. Perhaps for a while. But I'm not worried. The thing is that in art, I have to pursue my bliss, you know. I have to intuitively pursue what moves me, and that's what it's all about to me. If I go to a museum or I watch a movie, I intuitively pursue what moves and touches me, and I enjoy that. I draw inspiration from that and sensations from that. So back to the uncanny valley. Whenever I come across AI art, I get this sense that, especially AI art where AI has sort of emulated and tried to mimic a human expression. For instance, when friends write their prompts and get songs and then send me songs like, what do you think? What do you think of this? And as soon as I sense that there's AI involved and that this buddy of mine, who's not, a songwriter, suddenly feels as if they've made a song, I'm not impressed, and it's not something that I decide for or against. It's just, again, this intuitive gut feeling, heart response. I'm not impressed because in my experience, the creative process works me. Making music, writing lyrics, painting paintings, forging poems, building sculptures, whatever it is, taking photographs. It's of course, I may be feeling as if I am working the project and I am doing the art, but the art is just as much working on me. The creative process changes me, and all the difficulties that I'm up against, all the sleepless nights and the pondering, the contemplating, the problem solving, the back to the drawing board, the revisioning, the editing, the rethinking, the reimagining, and the polishing, all of that. It may seem as if I am working the art piece, but the art piece is just as much working me. It's like a mirrored alchemical process where in the end I have, just like climbing a mountain, the mountain isn't necessarily changed. Yeah, it is changed to some degree. It has my footsteps on it. I've tickled its, I've tickled it, and I've become part of the mountain now. But this ascension has also transformed me. When I stand on that summit, after all the huffing and puffing and struggle and panting and resting and returning to the ordeal, I am changed. It's like people writing a diary, they know that it's not just the papers in the diary that are transformed by ink and words, but the process is also clarifying and defining and shaping the author, the writer. Many write just to to reflect themselves in the words that end up on paper. It's a clarifying process. We make tangible the abstract. We manifest the beyond and bring it here into this dimension. In the 90s, I was deeply enamored with electronica, and I listened to a band called Åtecker. They were my favorite at the time, and the sound of Åtecker was very reminiscent of a superior, vastly superior intelligence, artificial and, unimaginable technology with a sort of a ghost in the machine. It was as if we partook in the dreams of an electronic being. And it was sometimes melancholic and desolate. But it made when having Åtecker in headphones, especially their album Amber, it was a perfect blend of alien intelligence, technology, melancholy, desolation, and beauty. Yeah. And having them in my headphones as I walked through, the industrial areas of Stockholm under steel gray skies, and alone time with my headphones, and it just made the most desolate places beautiful. It became like a soundtrack to loneliness and beautified my alone time. So I have a romantic, emotional response to the idea of artificial intelligence. But whenever friends send me songs that they've prompted, scripted into AI, and had this intelligent machine spit back a song at them, I can't relate to that song as if my friend has made it. Furthermore, I can't even relate to it as if there's someone there. It might be different if I got to partake in AI's own dreamt up music. That would fascinate me. But when AI mimics and tries to emulate a human response, then I end up in this uncanny valley. There's no one there. And I am not even partaking in my friend's talent. I'm not partaking in my friend exposing themselves. It's not their heart on their sleeve. It's not their gut or heart wrenched open. It's not their soul laid bare. You feel me? There's just a prompt and a response that seems human, but it's not. And that is uncanny valley to me. That's the twilight zone to me, because I'm sensitive in like that. I sense the difference between something soulful and soulless. And even if I don't pick up on it straight away, as soon as I realize that it's not man-made, that there are no human hands involved, but that it's an appearance of soul, a likeness to humanity. As soon as I pick up on that, then I feel like my goosebumps has been manipulated. You know, I feel cheated. I feel fooled. And not like, you know, I love to be fooled, you know, watching a movie fool me. I subject myself to art because I want to enter its realm and explore its illusion, so to speak. But there's a difference. There's a difference. To me, it's uncanny valley. It's a bit like porn, you know? On the one hand, we could argue that it's fabulous, it's great. It really saves a lot of hassle and time. You don't need to go out in the real world and waste time on socializing and shutting someone up and spending money and time and energy and, you know, fine tweaking your expression and do the dance and deal with the person and all of that just to get off. You can just place your ass on a chair behind the screen and have a go at some flashing imagery of others having sex, and you can get off like that, and half an hour later you're good and you can spend the rest of your weekend doing something better and you know, perhaps, you know, making art or work, getting stuff done instead of courting ladies. But yeah, on the one hand, it could be, you know, saving us a long trip, circumventing a lot of hassle, saving us problems. But on the other hand, from another perspective, from the perspective of a, you know, a mystic or a magician, where the sexual energy is perhaps the most sacred and mysterious and divine heritage from divinity, you know. So we are source made flesh, and we mirror our great creator by being creative, and us being able to create life is perhaps the most pristine and sublime energy that we possess. This flash of the orgasm that ignites the you know, wow, unspeakable process that leads to a new human. Well, from that perspective, where magicians know that the sexual energy is not to be taken lightly, and that the orgasm is a divine spark. From that angle, then porn becomes like the most obvious dark drainage. It becomes like a black hole, robbing us of our vital forces, where we get all the neurons firing and our juices flowing and our emotional response and all of it behind the screen of pixels and digits and the imagery that evokes all of this. There's no one there. The scene that we may be coming off to is recorded years ago, and there's no one there. The couple making love may even be deceased since long. And there we are, emptying our sacred reservoir into a electronic black hole where there's no soul and no recipient of our sacred flash. There's no one there. And into this nobody we send our sanctity. Yeah, conundrum. I have no judgment, neither towards AI or pornography. I'm not on a high horse or, high standards. I'm just this guy, human, simple. My problems are universal. But all I can do is to observe, pay attention, and to my best ability, be true to my heart and gut. And as of now, everything just naturally has me gravitate away from AI art. It doesn't move me, and when it fools me enough to move me, as soon as I realize that it's not what it seems to be, I feel uncanny. Uncanny valley. I feel sheeted. A bit like I've been fooled in the worst way. I'll do my utmost to not be seduced by the possibility of simplifying my arduous and often difficult artistic process, because that struggle is the flame in which I forge my soul. And I still care about that subtle difference between the soulful and the soulless. And I also believe I'm here to learn. And my most precious lessons in life have been the hard-earned ones.